The following segments are based off an idea we did not come up with. We really enjoyed the idea and thought it would be fun to use as a way to introduce the various people and groups in the esports program at Colorado College. This idea consists of asking our esports members a series of questions while they eat progressively hotter chicken nuggets. Enjoy.
I can feel like my throat salivating. Like, that sounds gross, but. I'm Kobe. I'm a senior. I'm an Overwatch player. I play support.
My name is Jack. I'm a freshman. Like Bobby, I play Overwatch, and we play support together.
My name's Ronan, also a freshman, and I'm the projectile DPS player for the Overwatch team.
In your eyes, what is esports? Did you have any expectations before you joined the team, and did it turn out to be how you expected it to be?
This is some made sauce.
I had never been a big gamer when I was a child. I kind of got into it at the later ends of your high school. And Overwatch is kind of the first game I ever played, so I didn't have a ton of expectations coming into it. I didn't even know they had an esports team here or a lab. And one time my friend went down to play, and I went down and I met Ben, who runs an Overwatch 101 class, and he told me I should come try it for the team. And I did, and I met everyone, and it was a ton of fun. And I'm super glad I did it. I made some really good friends, so I'm really glad it happened.
Yeah, I didn't have too many preconceptions of what it was. I was here for Overwatch 101, which is the funnel program. I got introduced to it by Henry, who was the captain from the previous year. I was a freshman, and the esports team hadn't existed at all. And he came up to me while I was slacklining, and he was like, "Do you play Overwatch?" Just out of the blue. He was like, "Can I slackline with you?" And then it was, "By the way, do you play Overwatch?" And so that's how I got introduced to esports. I thought it was gonna be just kind of fun, but it's pretty intense, and you have to play around the team comp that you're given, and we have a pretty interesting team comp most of the time, so it's a lot different than solo queue, but it's fun.
So I played in a Overwatch University in subreddit, used to run a league, and I played 4 seasons there on a team, and then I started my high school's Overwatch team. So I had decent background just for how the Overwatch esports scene worked. And then I found the Discord because it was the only social media I could find for CC. It was a social media I actually used. And I was looking to ask admission questions, but found it somewhere else. And then because I knew there was a Discord, I sort of came down to the lab early, asked about the team because I really wanted to continue playing on a team. And it's just been tons of fun. Everyone on the team's great, and it's a great atmosphere.
Describe Overwatch. Feel free to use visual aid.
Go for it.
So this is our team, and this is their team, and this is just free space, and the goal of the game is to take this space. So that's pretty much the goal, and to kill other people, and then to take their space. So that's the goal.
If I wanted to properly describe Overwatch, you see a bunch of scribbles on the screen that no one actually knows what's going on. It's definitely chaotic, I think mostly because it's got a lot of elements where you got cooldown trackings and high visibility abilities and all that kind of stuff, which would be fine in some games, but then in a 3D space, it makes it kind of whack to understand. One thing I really like is I think most every character has its own distinct role it should be playing, as well as how you're supposed to interact with the team. So you've got what you should be doing individually, as well as what you're doing with your team in mind.
Okay, Overwatch is basically a 6v6 first-person shooter game. But unlike a lot of the other first-person shooters like Call of Duty, it's not about getting the most kills or just killing the most people. It's you have to get kills in order to push an objective somewhere or capture a point. So oftentimes the team with the most kills doesn't even win. It's just whether you get the important kills at the right time to get the proper objective sometimes.
Does your team build around your best player or try to build around team comps and strats?
What dinosaur is this?
This one doesn't look like it has any
nice
sauce
stuff.
on it.
Yeah, that's what they all say, but the sauce is the same color.
Yeah, the second one was good. It was like apricot.
I think as a whole, it tends to be more like team comp focused, but depending on like what map you're playing on, with very specific situation, like certain people will emerge as more important for that specific situation, and everyone else sort of will fall in line for that, but it's not necessarily we're always following them. It's more that just happens and you roll with it, even though it's more team focused in general.
Yeah, I think as a solo player, you can definitely like show your strengths and shine in a particular match. But playing at the high level, it's hard for like one person to carry the entire game, and like do everything yourself because there's so many like different roles. Like there's tanks who have to like shield for your team. There's damage who does most of the damage, and then healers who heal. So if you're like a really good damage player, but you're not getting healed and your tanks aren't shielding you, it's hard for you to do anything. So in order for you to like succeed, your whole team kind of has to work together.
Yeah, I think I pretty much agree. I think like you mostly play to what you're strong at, but if the team needs something else in particular, then you should play that thing. I think the hard part is determining like what that thing that your team needs is. Yeah, that's probably just the challenge of Overwatch, and like challenge or like I don't know, combating that with how good you are at that character and like what you can actually impact in the game. You know?
Draw and then describe your main in Overwatch.
I don't know what that one is.
Oh, spicy too.
That's my favorite.
Truly amazing artistic ability. I tend to play Farah, who has a rocket launcher as her primary weapon, and then her big thing is she has a jetpack. So you're supposed to sort of use the jetpack to get yourself places that no one else can, and then shoot at them. And you're particularly good when the enemy's all grouped up. Because like it's a rocket launcher, it's gonna do a bunch of damage to a lot of people, and so you're not great at necessarily taking out one specific target, or as good as other heroes, but you can do a lot of damage to a lot of people, and then you utilize like your wings and everything to get places other people can't shoot you as easily from.
This is Mercy. Mercy is kind of like an angel. My job is to fly around and hold left click on either Ronan or Ben so they do more damage, and that's what I do the entire game.
Okay, this will do justice. So this is Moira. I play Moira, and her job is to essentially pee all over your allies with your hands. So the pee comes out of your hands, and it heals your allies. And then she also shoots an orb out, which can either damage or heal allies. And then to regain her heal juice, she like gives them the suck, which is like this. And you just like suck enemies, and then it regains your heal pee juice. So yeah.
That's a beautiful description, I have to say.
Right?
What does your coach do on a weekly basis to help your team?
I'd say as a coach, our coach's name is Toad. He kind of has two roles. One is helping the team as a whole. So like before a scrim or a game, he'll come up to us and say like, okay, we're gonna be running these 6 heroes and we're gonna go here because this. So he has like the team-based aspect, and then once a week or once every other week, we do like an individual review session. So we send him a video of us playing, and we go over by ourselves what we can do better. So it's kind of broken into two, like he helps the team do better as a whole, like kind of macro stuff, and then on a simpler level, on like micro stuff, he helps the individual player each know what to do better.
That's pretty much the essence of what Toad does. It's like a team-based thing during scrims, and then like after scrims we'll send him our VODs, and then I think that's where at least I get the most value is just like out of just like the microing all of our gameplays, and he'll just like rip apart everything and then take like some like high level thing that we should be working on. So yeah.
Describe and try to draw one of your favorite memes at the moment.
Oh,
My
God.
favorite memes? I don't look at memes.
Holy.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Surprise Pikachu.
So it's not the same as that.
The same name.
No, this doesn't look the same because I can't draw. It's the recent resurgence of Doge lore. Some of them are very PG and others are less so. But Yeah.
I was just talking to Will Graff, the CSGO team. He said these weren't hot at all, and he lied, because these are really hot.
Dude, these are spicy.
Who said that? The guy sitting in the middle? The brown hair?
Right.
Blonde?
Yeah.
What? He was dying.
He's dying.
Okay, maybe it's tricking me, because, oof.
How do you deal with toxicity?
For me, I usually just block them if I need to report them, and that's basically the end of it. Because by this point, I had way too many toxic people in games to actually care enough to like, if you try and confront a very toxic teammate, for the most part, it doesn't do anything. I think blocking them and then basically saying like that dude was toxic in voice after you've blocked them so they can't hear it, so you're sort of acknowledging to the rest of the team like that shouldn't be what people are saying. Then by blocking them, you're also not dealing with it yourself. And if it's really bad, like report them for stuff they say they shouldn't be saying.
I think for me, I think it's pretty much the same thing, just like mute and then, well, first you gotta tell them, hey man, that's toxic, just so they know. And then you give them the mute, you give them the report, you give them the block. Yeah. And as a team, I think we all can have tendencies towards toxicity. I feel like that's kind of like inescapable. So I think just, like playing to whatever your standard is and then just like letting it go by, I think is probably the best route.
I think that's a way to handle toxicity. Also, you can just flame them back even harder. I think there's like two schools of thought. You either double down on toxicity and like go at them, with some horrible things, or you just kind of leave chat and ignore it. But yeah, the first one's definitely more fun. I'm not excited for this last one.
That one's like a throat burn.
I'm not.
I feel like
Okay, yeah. We're
triple
coming
X on
up to the end here. What is your 2020 New Year's resolution, gaming or otherwise?
Choose.
Sodium.
Choose. I have a ton of friends from back home. I'm from Washington, D.C., and from a summer camp where I work up in upstate New York. And I'm horrible at keeping in contact with people that I'm like not in the same area with. And I've been really bad at that this year especially, and I don't want to like lose those friendships. So my New Year's resolution would be to like really do a good job of keeping in touch with these friends and not letting them slip away.
I think for me, I have a tendency to overthink things, and so I think one of my resolutions is to just like do more instead of just think. So yeah.
Between a mix of like fresh start at college and like generic like new school year changes, I made a lot of changes for my personal life for me that for once haven't all slipped away in like the first like 2 weeks. I think my New Year's resolution is like just trying to keep those going a little bit longer because they've been good for me, and I know that I won't necessarily keep them, but I'm trying to.
My tongue is like super ripped up. I ate like a huge bag of Sour Patch last night, and so my tongue is like ripped to shreds already. This is not.
Oh, so you're feeling it in the cracks.
Yeah, it's not going
I was
well.
just with-
I hate Mercy.
That's fair.
That's about it.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yay!